Well, this week, as you know, we're going to consider a legislative package of 3 strongly bipartisan bills that we wrote in the Appropriations Committee to fund everything from veterans care, military construction, transportation and housing, critical nutrition programs, support for our farmers and agricultural research, and even the FDA. It is important to note, as we wrote these bills during the committee process, I made certain to work in lockstep with my counterpart, Vice Chair Collins. Together, we collaborated closely with members on both sides of the aisle, on and off the committees, to get input from nearly every senator and wrote strong bipartisan bills. Do I believe these bills are what either of us would have written on our own? Of course not. But that is compromise, and that is how you can make sure that government can be functional and effective. We did the hard work of negotiating the bills that could actually become law, and all of these bills advanced out of committee without a single no vote. I hope we continue in that same spirit as we consider these bills on the floor and as senators offer amendments. I hope and trust all senators will bear in mind that we need to pass legislation that is bipartisan and the President can sign into law. Moving forward, as I have said, we will need a CR to finish our work, and we must deliver supplemental funding to meet urgent needs. We should meet the entirety of the President's supplemental funding request. Those are the priorities the President's outlined, and they're very important. We need to make sure that we can help our communities around the country rebuild and recover from disasters. We have to make sure that the administration has the resources it needs to stop the flow of fentanyl. We have to avoid a pay cut for our wildland firefighters, and as both Democrats and Republicans have made very clear, we must continue our strong support for Ukraine in this critical moment. None of these are priorities that Congress should turn away from. And by the way, neither is the child care crisis, which only stands to get much worse as critical funding expires in just weeks. Democrats are going to continue to take action on that and offer solutions and talk about what's at stake for our families and our economy, but we need Republicans to work with us on child care. Now, as for what the next few weeks have in store, I can't predict or control what a Republican House majority will choose to do, but here in the Senate, we can do our jobs. There cannot be a crisis or a standoff every time we need to fund the government. The American people do not want chaos or drama from Congress. They want us to find reliable funding for the food safety inspectors who make sure that their dinner is safe to eat. They want to make sure that the air traffic controllers who make sure they can get to where they want to go safely, can do so safely and on time. And they want to make sure that the VA doctors and the staff who work to get our veterans the very best care they deserve have the ability to do that. It is really that simple. So I'm focused on the work ahead in bipartisanship with our Senate Republican colleagues, and I hope the Republican House majority will follow our example.